Hello, 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 hello. Hello, everybody. This is Tony Ward, travel agent training specialist with Evolution Travel, and this is part 2 of Married to the Game. So if you have not watched part 1, Married to the Game, please make sure you watch part 1 before you hop into part 2 so you know exactly what's going on. I want to talk to you a little bit about this playbook that I put out there for you guys to use as a guide to increase and enhance your business. I want you guys to know some keys, some tools of the trade so that you can go ahead and maximize your business and what's going on. So I'm just going to go through this playbook with you guys briefly so that you'll see exactly what you can use it for, and hopefully it'll help you be successful in your upcoming ventures with Evolution Travel. You know, I went through a lot of different correlations with being married as opposed to having your own business. And I hope that you guys really kind of embrace the similarities so that you can understand a little bit better, understand what commitment it takes to actually get out of this business, what you're going to put into this business. And this playbook will help you. Of course, there are different stages that you go through when you're going through a relationship. There's the initial attraction, the flirting, the dating, the commitment, the engagement, the honeymoon ceremony, and of course then the real work begins, because you must keep repeating 1 through 7 as you go through your relationship. So super cool. Please make sure you listen to part 1 so you can have a full and clear understanding of part 2. Okay, now tools you need with your business, of course, are these right here: your business cards, your brochures, all this stuff. You can read exactly what it says down here, the things that you need. But one thing I want to kind of hone in on or point out is the 30-second elevator pitch, because when you first start your relationship with your business, when you first start your relationship with the new agents or whatever, there has to be an initial attraction. And that initial attraction is brought with always kind of developed using these tools right here, right? And the one that I want to talk about the most, I think, is the 30-second elevator conversation, because that is like your pickup line. That is how you get a phone number, right? That's your pickup line, that's your pitch, that's your, hey, can I get your number? This is what happens right here when you are working your business. So this information, what to say and when to say it, you know, this is it. People hate to be sold, but they love going shopping, right? Who loves shopping for new cars, but hates to see that used car salesman walking across the lot? It's like, oh, hell, here they come, messing up my whole shopping experience. I don't want him to try to sell me anything. I want to buy what I want to buy. Right? I don't want to buy what he wants me to buy. And that's what happens a lot. People hate to be sold, but they love to go shopping. So you'd be better off selling a system instead of selling a service, right? Let me sell you a vehicle so that you can get to point A to point B. Sure, I need that. Instead of saying, let me sell you this yellow car right here because it's been sitting on my lot for too long. I don't want that. I want what I want. Of course, they're both going to do the exact same thing, but it's going to taste a little better to me if I get to choose from the menu what I want. So make sure you guys are doing that. So you want to develop your 30-second elevator conversation. You know, compliments can start a conversation. You know, telling people, oh, you look like you can use a vacation, not in a bad way, but like, oh, you're working so hard, I bet you can use a vacation. So making sure you have some really good brief opening lines, something to start the conversation off so that you can have a good 30-second elevator conversation that leads to, of course, some flirting, right? Because part 2, of course, is flirting. You want to be able to get back to that person at a later date so that you can hop on the phone, have a conversation, flirt a little bit, and then get to that third step, which is, of course, the date. You got to flirt before you get to the date. And of course, with this type of situation, the date would be a 3-way call. The date would be a travel party. The date would be a super Saturday. The date would be a home-based travel party meeting, right? So make sure a date would be a Q&A with Tony. You know, that will be a date, but you got to get that information so that you can have that flirty conversation with them so that you can let them know exactly what you have to offer and get to that next step. So that 30-second elevator conversation or your pickup line is what is going to bring them there. So make sure you have a good 30-second elevator conversation that makes people want to talk to you later on. So in this book right here, I also give you information about different scripts, right? How to approach people, what to say, how to get the results that you want, right? Craigslist ads are a good one. Facebook and Instagram are a good one. How to invite to travel parties, getting someone on the three-way. All this stuff right here are examples of how you can start a conversation to lead to these particular things, right? So make sure you look this over and come up with your own stuff. Practice with your mom, practice with your dad, practice with your spouse, practice with your stuffed animals, practice with your dogs, practice with your kids. Like, you know, really just get out there and practice. It really just needs to come out of your mouth. Record yourself. Make sure you're smiling when you're talking about your business. Nobody wants to join something that makes you frown, right? They want to join something that makes you happy. So make sure you are practicing with that stuff, right? How to invite to a virtual travel party and Q&As, all that stuff. Now, here's one thing that's super cool because I'm also including a couple of things on here about text messages. Now, we know exactly what to say. Sometimes we just don't know how to get it out. Does it sound okay? Is it professional enough? Is it too professional? Does this sound too stuffy? What should I say? And I always say, go with your heart, go with your gut, go with what is natural for you, okay? Make sure, number one, your messages show that you actually care about the decisions they make when you are giving them an opportunity to make them. Don't make it seem like they're doing you a favor or you need them to do something. It's really important. So this communication right here, these examples of text messages are just that. They're examples to get you started so you know, okay, so I should be over in this realm when I'm talking to people about the business. Now, here's the key. It says communication for new agents, check-in text, and read and inactive agents. Now listen, for those of you who have agents in your back office and you've been in the business a while, you probably have some agents that have turned red. They usually turn red because of lots of different reasons. They've quit, because their credit card has expired, because they just didn't have enough money in the bank at that time, and they just forgot or whatever, and you haven't been in communication with them, so it's not a priority. So what you need to do, you guys, is make sure you are communicating with your people in your back office, even when they are black, so when they are red and you call them, you don't sound like a bill collector. That's super important to make sure you do that, okay? Check-in text. I would definitely recommend that you check in with any of your directly sponsored agents at least once a week. Super cool. Shoot them a text. Hey, this is Tony. Just want you to know I'm here. If you need anything, this is my direct number. Call me at any time. And when they call you or text you, answer the phone. Okay? I'm not saying you have to live on the phone with your agents, but I'm saying make sure that door is open so that they know you are available so that they can come and get help when they need to. New agent text is super important. You want to give them direction. You want to let them know what to do, where to go, how to do it, and let them know that there are other family members besides yourself that are there to help them. You want to make sure that you don't carry that heavy load and that burden yourself. Connect them with the Evolution Travel page. Connect them with the other agents you're working with. Connect them with all of the trainings. Let them know that that stuff is available to them, okay? So you want to make sure you do that. Super important, because at that point, they can never say, hey, my sponsor didn't help me. My sponsor disappeared, because now you are not the prime person focal point. They know that they have over 7,000 other agents that are here willing to help them. So you want to make sure you get them that information right away. So these are just some examples of some verbiage that you can use when you're talking to your agents, okay? Now, a lot of times people want to do things, they just don't know exactly how to do it, and they get a little lost. So I wanted to provide some how-tos for you. Here's just how to do a travel party, also how to do a three-way successfully, okay? The best place to introduce a home-based business is in the home. Think about it. The home-based business, where should I do a meeting? In your home, okay? Duplication is key. So if you have a home and a phone, you can definitely work this business. And that's what you want them to know, okay? So super cool. This is some information letting you know how to do a travel party. I'm not gonna go through this information with you. Screenshot it, look at it, make it happen. You should do a travel party at least once a month in your home to reintroduce your business, because people are traveling all the time, and it's fun to have a fun travel party. Put together a theme, get some brochures from Carnival or Norwegian or Royal Caribbean or wherever. Put together a little cruise party, let them know, hey, I'm a travel agent. You know, this is my monthly party. I just want to introduce my friends to what's going on. This is our deal for the month. And by the way, we are actually looking for agents in the area. So if you're interested in doing something like this, I am open to that. And put together a trip so that they can actually participate in that group cruise or come there and pay the deposit for a cruise or whatever. And that way you are working your travel business and possibly also getting business partners to work that business with you. So super cool to be able to have that party, because you want everybody to know that you are the neighborhood travel agent. 3 ways can save the day. In so many different ways, you get into these situations where you don't know what to say. Oh my goodness, I'm new. Oh my goodness, I'm scared. They're gonna have questions. I'm not gonna know how to answer them. I'm gonna sound crazy. I'm gonna sound like I don't know my business. I don't really wanna do it. That's why 3 ways are there. That's why the leadership is there to help guide you. Now, the main part of a 3-way is for your training. So even though you're getting your agent, your future, I don't call people prospects, they're future agents. Even though you're getting your future agent on the call for the 3-way, you are in training. You are sitting there, you're listening quietly. You don't participate in the 3-way. The only thing you have to do is edify the person that you're bringing to the call, and then you quietly sit there and listen and take notes, because one day you will be the person that is being edified. Now, edification on the 3-way call is super important. And I mean super important, because the way you introduce somebody gives the platform and the foundation to how they're going to receive them. If I introduce somebody as a math expert, you know, a mathematician, and they tell me, okay, and I give them a math problem, guess what? I am going to believe that the answers they give me are true and correct, and I'm not going to second guess them. But if I just say, hey, this is my friend Bob, and he used to have a calculator, let's see if he knows the answers, I'm going to double check Bob. I'm not going to 100% believe what Bob has to say, because that edification of Bob was not one of an expert, right? So I need to check it myself. So if you edify the person on the other phone as a travel agent training specialist, if you edify that person to say they've been in this business for 7 years, know 100% of the information, they're making lots of money, they're helping lots of people, and they've given us a couple of minutes of their time in their busy schedule to make sure they answer all of your questions correctly, they're going to sit back. Number one, they're going to respect their time. Number two, they're going to take that information as factual information, and they're not going to really want to check a lot of things, because this is an expert on the other end of the phone, a professional that's there to answer their questions, because they've been doing this for so long. They have the credentials to answer these questions. So it's super important that you edify the person that you're bringing on the phone correctly. I've been on phones where somebody would answer and say, hey, this is Stephanie. Stephanie, oh, this is Tony. Oh, you know what, you guys, just go ahead and introduce yourselves. Are you serious right now? Why should Stephanie listen to me? I'm a stranger to Stephanie. I'm not an expert. I'm just some lady named Tony that she was thrown on the phone to answer some questions. What makes my answers any better than your answers? Why should Stephanie listen to me? You haven't told Stephanie anything about me, my resume, showing that, yes, she is an expert. She's been doing this. She's a top earner in this company. She can definitely give you the information. You haven't done that. So edification is key in this business when you're doing 3-ways, because you want to make sure you have set that platform for them to understand exactly who they're talking to, right? If somebody says, hey, Tony, yeah, this is my friend Janet. She's going to help you with a couple of dance moves and a couple of help you sing a little bit. But if somebody says, Tony, I want to introduce you to Janet Jackson, and she just goes there and are you serious? She's Grammy nominated and winner and this, that, and the other. She's been in the industry for 100,000 years. And Janet Jackson, are you serious? I am going to take that appointment with Janet Jackson a lot more serious, then I would take it from Janet from down the block, from the block, right? I'm gonna take that appointment a little bit more seriously. So we want to make sure we're edifying people correctly. Now on here we also say it's cheaper to keep her. What does that mean? That means that in this business, people leave, they come and they go. But at the end of the day, you won't have so many people leave if you do for them what you did for them to get them to come to the business. That's how you'll get them to stay. You want to make sure that you are continuously, flirting, dating, being committed, engaging with them, celebrating with them. You want to make sure you're doing that on a regular basis because it's cheaper to keep them. 100%. Make sure you communicate with your agents, no matter if they're directly to you or if they're your agents, right? Think of it as a family. So the people that you bring into the business would be considered your children. The people that they bring into the business would be considered your grandchildren. The people that they bring into the business will be considered your great-grandchildren. Wouldn't you communicate with your grandchildren? Wouldn't you communicate with your great-grandchildren? Of course. You're going to make sure that your entire family has everything they need. The same thing with this business. Remember, we are a family. And no matter if they're your direct children or if they're your children's children or if they're your children's children's children, you want to make sure that they get all the information they need to be successful in their business, okay? Simple as that. You're married to the game. 100%. This is your family. If you do those small, simple steps, I promise you, you will get out of this marriage more than you put into this marriage. A long-lasting love is something that you cannot pay for. And if you do every single thing you need to do, it's going to help you in the long run, okay? Now listen, this is the true story. True story, you guys, because I started off liking the game, and I thought travel would be something new, something I just might like to do. While I clear my mind in my free time, another way to grind, just in case my bills get behind, right? I thought I could learn a lot, save some money, travel to a few new spots. And I decided we should date. I realized all the money I could make. As my knowledge and admiration grew, things were great. Lots of courtship and dating. Then, for better and for worse, through sickness and in health, from poorness to wealth, I grew within myself. I am now married to the game. Everybody, this is Tony Ward, travel agent training specialist with Evolution Travel, saying that I hope to see all of you guys at the bank and at the beach. I hope that this training was good for you. Remember, this is part 2 of Married to the Game. The playbook, please make sure you have reviewed part 1 and part 2. Get yourself together and make sure that you are having the best and most fulfilling marriage that you could possibly have with Evolution Travel. Guess what, you guys? I do, and you should too. Bye, everybody.